Understanding the beauty dish next here on the Slanted Lens. It's a bit of a juggling act. Hi, this is JP Morgan. I've got with me here Grace Ann today.
Hey guys.
Grace Ann is going to help me talk about beauty dishes. This is what I called a beauty dish when I started. This huge hard-shelled thing, which are beautiful. They're great looking lights, but they are so hard to travel around with and to be able to carry them on location. It never made it very far. It would get kicked off the truck, never made it on an airplane, ever. But the new version of these is from Westcott, and these have been out a while, but this is a great version because this has a very similar look, has that beautiful, gorgeous kind of highlights on the face that a standard beauty dish gives you, but it's very compact and it makes it so you can travel with it. It's much more likely to make it on the airplane. So let's take a look at just this type of beauty dish and see exactly how this disc right here, it's this little disc right here that bounces the strobe headlight back into the white of the beauty dish, and then the light comes out the front. That really makes the difference. So let's get started. We got a lot to do. So let's take a look at this beauty dish. First off, we're not looking at this one. It's too big, too cumbersome, doesn't matter anymore because no one's gonna buy it. But let's take a look at the Westcott 24-inch beauty dish. It's got the insert in it, so we're gonna look at it with the insert, without the insert. We're gonna look at it with the soft cover on it, without the soft cover. We're gonna look at it with a grid, without a grid, and just see how it shapes her face. Just see the distance that we think is best from her face. So let's get started with just a very close. Most of the time when you use a beauty dish, you wanna be fairly close to your subject matter. So we're gonna get in fairly close, about 2 to 3 feet, and start there and take some shots with that insert in, then we're gonna do it with that insert out. So let's take a look at those two first off and just see the difference between a beauty dish bounce into the white versus just a octadome straight light on her face. So let's take a look at those two. So here's our first image that's got the insert in, so you're bouncing light back into the beauty dish. It's just a beautiful, soft rendition. Look at the transition on the highlights on her face into the shadows, just a very soft transition. If we blow that up a little bit, you can just see how soft that transition is. Now when we take the insert out, and now it's just, the transition is way sharper. We're getting a highlight on her skin. You get that kind of blown out skin, whereas you don't get that with a beauty dish. You look in that background and look at how that skin is softer, much that highlight's not so harsh on her skin. The background's really interesting. Without the insert, we get a lot of light on that background. With the insert, the light is more focused up front and it falls off much faster. So when I move that beauty dish back to 4 feet, so I've gone from 2 feet to 4 feet, maybe 2.5 feet to 4 feet, it's really interesting what happens. The background becomes very much brighter. You see a much brighter background. And also, the highlight on her face, it becomes more flat. Obviously, because I'm getting this out and more frontal, I'm not getting the nice deep shadows on her cheeks and that, and it just doesn't look near as flattering to me. So let's see what happens if we take that insert out now. When I compare these two, it's very obvious that the chin shadow on the one without the insert is very sharp, which means the shadows underneath her eyes, on her cheeks are all very, very sharp. So you get much softer shadows when you use the insert because it is bouncing light back into the dish. But we've moved further away and it's just not as pretty. I don't think this is optimal to get this far away. If I move this back out into here, it's gonna just get worse. It really doesn't accomplish what I want it to do. So I put the grid in, we're gonna do some shots here. What I love about the grid on this beauty dish from Westcott is that it's thick. And the depth of that is going to really control the light. It's really the sign of a good beauty dish if it's really thick and it gives you the ability to cut the light down. So let's take a look and see what it does. Well, obviously we pick up about a half a stop. About a half a stop brighter. We see a little more light in the background. The area of coverage is greater now with the insert taken out than it was with the insert in. So there's definitely a difference there. I can see a difference. In some ways with the grid, I kind of like the insert out because I get a little more area of coverage. Although again, the skin just kind of glows with the insert out, whereas with the insert in, it's a much prettier look on her face. Now I'd like to look at using a grid without the diffusion on it and just see what that looks like with and without the insert. So this is the image without the insert, but with the grid on. And we get a nice hot spot on her face and we get a lot of light on the background with that, but it's very hard directional light. On this last image, we put the insert back in and it softens this up immensely. It is so pretty on her face. I just think that's the perfect area. It's a softer shadow under her chin. It's nicer light on the cheeks and on the skin on her face. I get a little bit of glow in the background, just a little bit. This is a beautiful spot here. So that's the beauty dish bouncing back in with the grid on. So the grid's going to control the area of coverage, but you just get that nice soft light as the lights bounce back into the dish and comes through that grid. So that is a beautiful setup right there. So there's a look at the beauty dish. I have always loved this size of modifier for several reasons. One is it's very small and compact, so I can carry it in a suitcase, I can put it in a case with heads. So I've always liked that size, but I love this beauty dish rendition where you've got that insert inside that bounces the light back into the beauty dish and gives you a nice soft light coming out. It's just kind of the nice mix between hard and soft, but still does give you the option. You can pull that insert out, just use it as a regular octodome. You have that option as well, so that's very nice. So there's no wrong or right here. There's no you have to use it with the insert, you shouldn't use it with the insert, none of that. It's just a matter of knowing what it does and then applying that to what you're doing. And in doing that, it becomes a creative process. So take the information, apply it to what you're shooting, and get out there and make some great images. But make sure you follow us here on the Slanted Lens. Leave a comment, let us know what you're thinking. Talk about some of your thoughts as far as what beauty fit dishes will do and what you've made them do and some images that you've done. And make sure you follow us. Join our membership area. So excited about our membership area. We're coming together there in smaller groups. I have a chance to be able to mentor people there, to be able to help them work on their images. Just a great platform for us to be able to meet and connect personally with you. So get over to theslanteddlens.com. So get over to Patreon, join our membership group there. So keep those cameras rolling and keep on clicking. Thanks to Westcott, sponsor here at the Slanted Lens. Love their softboxes. Those new FJ400s are really incredible. So we hope to shoot with those and do a lot of great images with those in the coming months.